my children, you don't have control of me. They shut our doors and try to give us God Fauci. To hell with Fauci.
Fauci! He's a fraud!
Churches are surrendering their pulpits to the demonic hostile. I'm not coming to your church. You're not getting my tithe. Are you crazy? Take your children out of school. I'm a former educator of 24 years. They stopped teaching them years ago. You just didn't know.
Yep. Facts.
You just didn't know.
Facts.
Education went to hell years ago.
Facts.
They taught them compliance.
Yep.
They stopped teaching them to think. Analytical thought went out the window with state exams.
Yep.
Those state exams are just being used to track your children, to determine who's going to college, to train them, to support this godforsaken system. All the rest that's going elsewhere. They have pushed us into prison. I don't care how you look at it. If you're in corporate America, you're imprisoned by your lifestyle. If you're in the government, you're imprisoned by your job with good benefits. You understand? If you are on subsidy, you're imprisoned by their benefits. We have to get out their system, pull yourself out, pull your dollars out, and level it.
That video that you just saw was from New York during a protest against the mandates there, and I have absolutely no idea who that woman is, but I bet she would do a way better job than almost all the politicians in office right now. Welcome back, beautiful and amazing human beings. This is Luke Rudowski of WeAreChange.org, and we got a big bombshell video for you today. As of course, there's some major explosive statements coming out highlighting how soon there will be an end to all of this nonsense. How will it end? What's going to happen with all of this? Well, we're going to be talking about that, plus a lot more, all in this video. And there's so much news, we're just going to jump right into it, as of course, I wasn't kidding, suggesting that this woman should be even the governor of New York. This, as of course, the man known as Bozo the Clown, Bill de Blasio, just announced that he won't be running to be governor of New York, which, according to the Daily Mail, made New Yorkers breathe a sigh of relief. As, of course, this man was one of the worst things that came to city, next to, of course, hipsters, as the quality of life was dramatically reduced. Dramatically, because of his decrees as mayor of New York City. In related disappointing politician news, today we're also finding out that Donald Trump is trashing Ron DeSantis behind his back, allegedly, according to a source who is close to Trump. And even though this can't be verified, I think it's fair to say that there definitely isn't a love loss between the two, as we've been telling you for weeks now that it was only a matter of time until these two Republicans clashed with each other. As of course, a few days ago, there was already passive-aggressive comments made by Donald Trump surrounding a big pharma product attacking Ron DeSantis. Now we're hearing that Donald Trump is allegedly saying that DeSantis has no charisma, has a dull personality, with today the Florida governor Ron DeSantis answering back saying that it is too much to ask for right now, when specifically asked if he would back Donald Trump in 2024, as of course the soon will be battling each other to be the Republican frontrunner in the next upcoming 2024 election, according to many people close to both of these individuals. Who else might be running? Hillary Rodham Clinton, who's literally putting out feelers right now in the corporate media to see what response she gets. This, as just moments ago, there's a new report highlighting how a really bad man who did unspeakable things to children just pled guilty to funneling $3.5 million to the 2016 Hillary Clinton presidential campaign on behalf of the United Arab Emirates in a pay-for-play quid pro quo, trying to gain them political favors. So it's safe to say that Hillary Clinton's possible campaign is already starting like the last one, filled with controversy, really bad, sick, sinister people laundering money, and being caught red-handed, being absolutely corrupted. In other highly corrupted billionaires who buy influence news, we have this eye-opening development from a major Democratic supporter, billionaire Golden State Warriors owner, Chamet Falapataya, who in a video interview literally said that no one cares about the Uyghurs and other Chinese human right abuses. A billionaire that buys influence by paying off the Democrats, not caring about an ethnic minority being absolutely taken out of existence? Oh gee, What a surprise there. And of course, the Clintons aren't just tied in to really bad, horrible people on many extensive levels. And of course, there's a lot more I want to say about this specific topic, especially about George Nader, about the other very horrible people connected to the Clintons and this entire ruling establishment. And I really can't do that here, but that's why we built LukeUncensored.com, where later on today I will be doing another exclusive video specifically detailing the destruction of our society from some of the worst, most horrible human beings on the face of this earth. This is definitely going to be a spicy video, which of course you could only exclusively watch on our members area on LukeUncensored.com. Click the link down below and join in, as of course we are building, expanding our platform, already have 3 master classes available for you for free. We also have exclusive merchandise at cost, only available to Luke Uncensored members, as we also just exclusively released yet another product on thebestpoliticalshirts.com. This one's going to be very fitting with the rest of the video, which reads, if you think this sickness is scary, wait until you find out what's really going on. And I think in a few years from now, when the American public sees the larger truth of exactly what's happening right now, that they will be absolutely shocked at what they discover. For me, there's a lot of very interesting parallels between what's happening right now and what happened with Chernobyl and the end of the Soviet Union Empire. HBO surprisingly covered this topic very effectively and highlighted how scientists who dissented against the narrative presented evidence that showed people that they were in danger, that tried to save lives, were of course suppressed by the state, told to lie, and covered up this entire incident, which led a lot of people being severely hurt by it. Some people would say that we're dealing with a similar situation right now, as even theweek.com just published a very interesting article saying specifically in their byline, quote, "The left used to warn about unintended consequences in foreign policy. Maybe it's time to remember those warnings," specifically highlighting how there will be a blowback against many of the lockdowns, restrictions, and mandates that were decreed on the American people that absolutely made no sense at all. There is no scientific data behind, and incentivized corrupted private industries that, of course, exploited the situation for profit. The Telegraph also wrote a very interesting piece surrounding this thesis as well that was titled, "The Curse of This Sickness. Can any leader survive the backlash to all of this?" specifically highlighting how statists like Neil Ferguson, top bureaucrats of the UK state, predicted and called for lockdowns, which he would say would have reduced deaths to about 20,000, up to 2/3 of people, of whom he said would have died within a year, and now the death toll now stands at 7 times those figures, while Britain has, quote, "suffered some of the strictest, longest lockdowns in the world," with the Telegraph specifically highlighting how people were let down by a lot of people in power and authority, and how those people's political careers have been negatively impacted and will continue to be negatively impacted with, of course, every single day as the narrative keeps crumbling on their official story, which, of course, after 2 weeks to flatten the curves, now 2 years into this, people are starting to slowly wake up and understand that a lot of people were being played here. It also doesn't help that the main spokesperson for this entire situation, who was heavily invested in all of this, had a public divorce because he wouldn't stop hanging out with Jeffrey Epstein. But it wasn't just that broke the official narrative, broke the official story. It's also important journalistic writings like this from the businessinsider.com that highlights a new study that came out of Israel that highlights that even if you took 4 products from Pfizer, that you can still catch this sickness, even if you take 4 shots that were supposed to prevent you from getting sick, that were promised to you, initially would have stopped. And of course, there's a new variant that the world is dealing with new complications, with an entirely new situation that, of course, will completely change the way that we deal with all of this. Now, why is this data still important? Why is this article still important? Because it directly contradicts the lies by big pharma executives that were telling you, along with other bureaucrats like Dr. Fauci that were telling you, along with the President of the United States that were telling you, just keep taking this product and everything will go away. Everything will stop. And as more and more people start getting sick, that took the product, there's eventually a proverbial dam that will break, that will expose all of this nonsense. As even Stephen A. Smith just announced that he complied, took this procedure, and he got so sick that he thought he would have died. This, as of course, not only major hospitals, but even major sporting institutions are bringing players who never took this product because the players that did are getting sick and can't play. This is why Kyrie Irving is now playing with the Brooklyn Nets, only, of course, in away games, since he can't play in New York City because of the mandate that implements the policy that clearly has been so effective at treating and preventing all of this nonsense. And let's be honest with each other, the biggest spreader of disinformation has been the Pfizer CEO that on big tech social media was telling you that his product had 100% efficacy. I didn't say it. The Pfizer CEO said it, as he just came out and said boosters against this sickness are necessary. Yes, the CEO of the product is telling you that you need to take more products from him, even though there's major institutionalized government studies showing how it still does not prevent transmission. But what are you going to tell a CEO who's hell-bent on, of course, giving out his product? Some would say that there's definitely a profit motive incentivized here, as, of course, many people don't even understand that this product isn't free. You're paying for it with your tax dollars. Your government is buying it, and they're extorting and manipulating more and more people to take it through, of course, panic and fear that's not based off any legitimate scientific data or information provided to us. Where are the studies? Where are the data sets? We don't have that. We just have Dr. Fauci warning that there's a, quote, high probability of new variants and that more people will get sick, be more afraid. And it's important to highlight that according to other medical professionals in this field, that the likelihood of this happening is not probable. But there, of course, should be a scientific debate and discussion around this, and there's not. A lot of debate and conversations are being censored. I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not here trying to give you any medical advice. I'm just letting you know that there are other prevailing thoughts other than, of course, the ones ushered by the gospel of Mr. Science himself, Dr. Fauci, who, of course, contradicts himself more than he does tell the truth. Now, as the nonsense and rhetoric becomes more hyperbolic, more sensationalistic, more based on fear rather than logic, this is also helping spread the mass awakening of people not buying it anymore, because there's only a certain amount of time that people could handle this. This, as the European FDA, the European Medical Agency, came out with a statement saying that taking too many of these products might reduce the level of antibodies that can be produced with each administration of additional products on the person. The dam is breaking. Even the World Health Organization has come out with the statement that soon there's going to be an end to all of this nonsense. And scientifically, looking at a lot of this information, I think the probability of that is really high. Now, what's going to happen at the end of this entire crap situation that the people were put in by the government, not by the sickness, by the way, the governments implemented a lot of the pain and suffering resulted by their policies that they instituted, that they profited it off of, that their friends made a lot of money with, which people are realizing, hey, that was absolutely messed up. And I think, whether you think I'm naive or not, there's going to be some repercussions because of that. How do you think this will unfold? Will there be another major event that will stop this unraveling of this entire scheme? Well, let me know what you think is going to happen in the future down in the comment section below. I always appreciate your participation, your time, your attention. Just being able to spend some time with you means the world to me, because if you didn't, I wouldn't be here. Sharing this video even means a lot more to me, because this is how we grow, this is how we expand, and we have been doing that tremendously within the last few months, all because of your participation, which I am eternally grateful for. I got one more video coming your way later on today on lukeuncensored.com. I hope to see you there. I love you guys. Stay tuned for more here on wearechange.org.